During training, his legs wouldn't stop shaking. The teacher immediately decided he was born to dance. Those tense arches and strong calves were meant for ballet. But there was a problem. Those legs belonged to a boy, and in a rural town like his, boys who danced would only be laughed at. To toughen Billy up, his father spent good money on boxing lessons. Yet Billy had no interest in boxing. Instead, his eyes were drawn to the ballet class next door. One day, while the teacher wasn't watching, Billy slipped in, but his sneakers gave him away. As he was about to leave, the teacher tossed him a pair of ballet shoes. "Try them on," she said. That moment changed everything. Billy discovered the passion of his life, something he was ready to give his whole future to. From his very first class, his gift was undeniable. The teacher soon pulled him to the front as an example for others. That sense of achievement lit a fire in him. Walking home, his face was glowing. For the first time, life seemed to have meaning. The teacher couldn't let this talent go to waste. On her way home, she invited him to come again the next day, but Billy turned her down. In this poor mining town, men survived by their strength. Every boy was expected to follow the same path. If his father found out he was secretly learning ballet, the consequences would be severe. But love can overcome fear. To hide the truth, Billy left home every day with his boxing gloves, pretending he was headed to practice. In reality, he was learning ballet with his teacher. To catch up with the other students, Billy borrowed a book on ballet from the library. He practiced in secret, even locking himself in the bathroom to work on his moves. Ballet was more than spins and steps. Every turn required the eyes to follow the body. The difficulty was immense, but his passion kept him going. With each day of practice, his progress was extraordinary, until one afternoon, the boxing coach told Billy's father the truth. Enraged, his father stormed into the dance class. He saw his son dancing among the girls. Like a mouse facing a cat, Billy had no choice but to follow him home. At the house, his father struggled to contain his anger. Grandma tried to defend him, saying she had danced ballet in her youth, but his father cut her off. Girls can dance, boys can't. Boys play football, they wrestle, not ballet. Furious, Billy finally snapped. Ballet builds muscle too, he shouted, but his father refused to listen. From that day, he forbade Billy from boxing or dancing. Billy's only duty now was to watch over his grandmother. His dream was being crushed. For the first time, Billy screamed out in defiance, "I hate you!" Before running into the street, venting his frustration. Billy refused to live the same life as his father, trapped in this town forever. Yet when he remembered the 50 pounds his father had scraped together for boxing lessons, guilt washed over him. Maybe his father was right. Maybe survival was more important than dreams. The family was poor. His mother had died when he was young. His father, a coal miner, worked to raise Billy, his brother, and care for his aging mother. With the economy in ruins, survival was all they could think about. So Billy reluctantly told his teacher he would quit. She wasn't surprised, but she couldn't bear to watch his future disappear. She told Billy about the Royal Ballet School, the most prestigious in the country. If he got in, he could have an extraordinary future. Billy shook his head. He didn't know enough, but the teacher said it didn't matter. The school would teach him. He just had to show them his talent, his passion, his expression through dance. She offered to coach him for free if he promised to work twice as hard. So Billy trained in secret, pouring everything into preparation for the audition. His teacher, almost like a mother to him, even told him fairy tales to fill the emptiness left by his real mom. She canceled all her other classes, focusing only on him, and Billy never let her down. Finally, the day of the audition arrived, but Billy never showed up. His teacher, worried sick, drove to his home. There she found him with his devastated family. That morning, Billy's brother had been arrested for leading a strike. His father had spent everything to bail him out. There was no money left. The teacher argued with his father. Billy had a chance at a real future, but to them, ballet was a waste of time. The fight grew heated, and Billy fled. Out in the street, he danced furiously. Each step carried his dream. Each expression showed his pain. It was his last stand between passion and reality. But soon he hit a wall, both literally and figuratively. In his family's situation, there was no path forward. Billy gave up the audition, yet he never gave up his dream. On Christmas Day, he secretly taught his friends to dance. This time, his father caught him in the act. His eyes were filled with disappointment, but Billy didn't stop. He kept dancing, right in front of him. With each step, he tried to prove himself through dance, and something changed. Maybe his father was moved. Maybe he finally saw his son's gift. This time, he chose to support him. He rushed to the teacher's home. "How much for the audition?" he asked. "At least 2,000 pounds, she replied. The father apologized. He wanted to help his son. He promised to find the money himself. He would not let anyone else bear the cost. For a man who had once struggled to gather 50 pounds, the challenge seemed impossible. But he had one option left: his wife's jewelry, her last keepsakes. He had never thought of selling them. They were too precious. But if she had been alive, she would have wanted Billy's dream to live on. With a heavy heart, he walked into the pawn shop and sold them. Soon after, father and son boarded a bus to London. For the first time, they saw the grand halls of the Royal Ballet School. The audition began. Billy was nervous, his movements stiff. The judges exchanged doubtful looks. He knew he had blown it. Then came the interview. The examiner asked, "How do you feel when you dance?" Billy froze. He didn't know how to answer, but after a long pause, he spoke. He said it just felt good. When he danced, he forgot everything else. It was like he didn't even exist, like his body became something else. Sometimes a bird, flying free, sometimes a whale, gliding through the ocean. The judges were stunned. The audition was over. Billy and his father returned home, hopeless. They expected nothing. Days later, the mail arrived, a letter from the school. Billy picked it up, glanced at his anxious family, and carried it to his room. He opened it alone, and what he found inside would change his life forever. Want to know what happened next? Follow me. The story continues soon.